About halfway between Queenstown and Mount Cook. This is the Lindis Pass Scenic Overlook. And it is beautiful, but the whole ride's like this. Just kind of wanted to stop and stretch our legs from being in the car for 2 hours. And I want to make some stops on this road on the way back. But it looks like today's going to be our best weather day. That's why I'm in a hurry to get there so I can hopefully take my flight over the glacier today. All right, halfway there. All right, we have made it to Mount Cook. This is the Aoraki Mount Cook Lodge. Got a little kitchen action, and I can't believe there's actually an espresso machine. Here is the bare bones bathroom, but it looks clean. Got a little kitchen table, bed, desk and wardrobe, couch, TV, and luggage area. But here's what you're paying the money for. This is the view. We have a little porch with no chairs, but this is the view out of our porch. Aoraki, Mount Cook. Wow. This is crazy. Absolutely crazy. So nothing fancy, but certainly the location is unbelievable. $618 for 2 nights. All right, welcome to Mount Cook. I'm headed to the airport to fly up to the glacier. All right, so I am at the Mount Cook airport to get on my airplane here in just a second. I don't know if that's it right there, maybe. But you can see in the background, oh, hard to get it all. Well, Mount Cook's back there. That's all I can say. But here's the little airport, and I'm taking an airplane both directions. The cheapest way is to take an airplane one direction. You land on the glacier, then you hop in a helicopter, or vice versa. They were sold out for today, so I had to pay an extra 100 New Zealand dollars to take the airplane both ways. That's about 60 US. But I'm not crazy about helicopters, so I'm okay with that. But it's really expensive. I mean, $650 for 45 minutes. That translates to about 400 US. But we're going to fly up over Mount Cook, around the glaciers. We're going to land on a glacier, get out, walk on the glacier, get back in, and come right back. 45 minutes. Let's go. Oh, by the way, 2 things. Number one, I misspoke about the name of the hotel. It's the Aoraki Mount Cook Motel. It's like a motor hotel. So number one, I think I threw the word lodge or something in there. That's the name of the hotel. Number two, I'm not going to say much as I film on here because I don't want to disturb the other people. All right, let's get on the airplane and get our glacier on. All right, take three, the different microphone. Beautiful. Mount Cook and the Tasman Glacier. All right, let's try it with another microphone, see if this one comes out better, I hope. There's Mount Cook, and below me is the Tasman Glacier. And there's the airplane. Man, this is awesome. Now your turn. And we're off. Right by Mount Cook. I'm kind of on the wrong side, but all right, here we go. There it is. Wow. Wow. Just a second. And we're on the ground. All right, so I'm back from my adventure up there to Mount Cook, and man, it was so bright up there I couldn't even see the camera. I couldn't see the screen. So I don't know how well things came out, but it is beautiful up there. I was on the wrong side of the airplane on the way back, which is a bummer, but it is what it is. Really cool, really cool. Can't wait to see if any of my footage came out. All right, back to the hotel and try to find some dinner. Here comes a helicopter. See if you can see him. There he is, coming in for a landing. All right, tomorrow we hike, and hopefully it'll be nice. It's supposed to be cloudy tomorrow. Not sure if they're going to be able to fly tomorrow, actually. All right, good morning from Mount Cook. I'm at the Sir Edmund Hillary Alpine Center, which is located inside the Hermitage Hotel. Hermitage is the nicest hotel here and the nicest restaurant. It's about $450 a night. We paid $300 for that little hovel we're in, but I mean, our hotel's brand new and it's very comfortable and the room's big. Just nothing there. So, not a lot to this museum, although it is super interesting. And they have a series of movies throughout the day. However, we're going to have to come back for that because the first one doesn't start till 9:30. They don't tell you that on the website when they say they open at 7:30 in the morning. I guess that's why we're the only ones here. But this is it. First person to climb to the top of Mount Everest, and he had quite a remarkable life. So, some 29 New Zealand dollars to join here. That's like what, 18, $19 US. Not much to it, but I guess it's something you got to do while you're here. I always like learning about things, so that's it. This is the Hermitage Hotel, Sir Edmund Hillary Alpine Center Museum. And this is the outside of the Hermitage Hotel, and you can see the statue of Sir Edmund Hillary. And there's the top of Mount Cook. Can't see it because of the clouds, but there it is. This is quite beautiful. They've got a fancy, super expensive restaurant inside, right there. So this would be nicer than where we are, more convenient, but much more expensive. So this is the Hermitage Hotel. All right, so there again is Mount Cook. top is kind of obscured by the clouds, but I am walking on the Hooker Valley track, which goes down that way, but they are doing construction on one of the bridges, so that gate says you can go no further. So if you look online, you'll see it takes about 3.5 hours round trip normally, and a lot of people just kind of bring their lunch and then they eat out there by the lake. But you can't do that, and I don't know when it's reopening. But they're working on the second of 3 bridges. I went over the first, and I don't know, it took maybe 45 minutes to get to this point, so it's probably an hour and a half total now instead of 3.5. I haven't been able to find any information on when that bridge will be finished, but it was a washout. And man, it sure is nice out here. It sure is peaceful. So I am on the way back, and I will stop at a few points of interest on the way. All right, here's one of the scenic overlooks. You can see the little lake down there. It's obviously glacier runoff. And in the back, you can see the mountain. So there's several of these little places where people stop to take pictures and things like that along the track. So we will hit a couple more on the way back. All right, yet another scenic overlook, a little bit of a better view of the small lake. I have not seen any airplanes or helicopters today, so I'm thinking it's just too cloudy for them. So I'm glad I went yesterday. They were going to book me for 8:30 this morning, and I decided to go for it yesterday. Glad I did. All right, next scenic overlook. People get up on that rock there, get their picture taken, and you can see the stream down below. And then there is the bridge. It goes across. That's the first of 3 bridges, and it's number 2 that is under repair, and that's why roughly half the trail shut down. All right, that's bridge number 1. And this is the view from the other side of the bridge, but I wanted to stop here because this is one of the best views of the mountain, best vantage points of the walk. You can see the mountain the whole walk, but this is one of the best views, I think. All right, and this is one of the first really high overlooks you run into when you're going down the trail, and you can see the bridge there, the lake, and Mount Cook, Aoraki. This is awesome. You can also see the Hermitage Hotel there in the distance that I talked about earlier. And you can't really see our hotel from there, but it's right there. And then you can see people coming up from the head of the trail. I don't think there's a more scenic trail anywhere. Out there you can see the big lake, bright blue water. We'll get some shots of that on the drive back tomorrow. And yeah, this is awesome. All right, so this is one of the spots actually towards the beginning of the trail, and I did not go up there on the way, and I'm on the way back now, so let's go check it out. Alpine Memorial. I know it's a scenic overlook, but I'm not sure what else is up there. Oh, all right, we're going to get a little bumpy here. Ah, it's all the way up there, so let me shut her down until I get up. All right, so here's the monument in memory of those who perished in this park. And initially, for these two guys in 1914, excuse me, three, they were overwhelmed by an avalanche in 1914. And we watched a video at the Sir Edmund Hillary Center this morning, and there was 138 people died climbing Mount Cook as of that point in time, but I don't know what year that was filmed. But this is the view from the top of the monument, and then you can see the trail down there. Pretty nice. Oh, and then here's some more names. Obviously not all 138, but all right. All right, we're going to try this despite the wind. Might need to redo it later if there's too much wind here on the mic, but just finished the Hooker Valley track, and that concludes all the things that we wanted to do here in Mount Cook. And by the way, you can see there is a little parking lot where you can park to walk the trail, but you can see the little town in the background, and it is walkable. We drove over here, but it's walkable. So let me wrap a bow around this Mount Cook village, Mount Cook, the hotel, all that good stuff. First of all, Mount Cook is magnificent. It's a must-see. Landing on the glacier was awesome. It's very expensive. And by the way, I got lucky with weather because the guy admitted to me they only go about half the time. So I was just lucky. And Mount Cook Village, not much happening. Boring. There's 3 or 4 hotels, there's 3 restaurants. One of them is closed on Monday and Tuesday, which is when we're here. We ate at sort of the casual one last night, which was good for beer, but the food was horrendous. But we ordered pizza. Tonight we're going to try the veggie burger. And then there's the fancy Hermitage Hotel, which they insist you need reservations to eat at night, although they do have a decent little cafeteria from 10 to 4 that the only unhelpful person I've met in New Zealand, which was at the Welcome Center here, ironically enough, she didn't tell me about that. But I was in there this morning, and they have a few things. They have some hot entrees and yogurt and fruit and coffee, and so it's pretty good. It's in the Hermitage. I would definitely stay at the Hermitage if you don't mind spending an extra 100 to 150 a night. But I don't think they probably have a kitchen or anything like we have. There's no grocery store here. So let me move on to the hotel, the Aoraki Court Motel, Motor Hotel. You park right in front of the room. Our building was obviously brand new, and we had a kitchen. The problem is there's nowhere to shop in this little village whatsoever. So if you stay there, which is a good option because you have a kitchen and the view is magnificent, just bring groceries with you because the nearest groceries are about 80 kilometers away. I mean, you're out in the middle of nowhere when you get here. So very limited options on things to do at night and eat and stuff like that. But the hiking, I did the Hooker Valley, which is the easiest one and the most popular one, but there's a lot of longer ones and more strenuous ones for you to try if you're here longer. We were just here basically a day and a half because we drove up yesterday morning. So that's it for Mount Cook Village and Mount Cook. It's awesome, it's beautiful, and in the morning we head back to Queenstown to reposition for our day trip to Milford Sound the following day. And weather permitting and my rest dependent, we may stop at Lake Tekapo on the way home if I want to add 2 hours to the journey. All right, we will see you tomorrow. Good night. All right, good morning. There it is, Mount Cook. We are driving to Lake Tekapo, and this is Lake Pukaki. And it's sunrise over Lake Pukaki. And there's a number of scenic overlooks here on this stretch of road. We might hit a couple more, but we're out early hitting the road and nobody else is on the road, and it's the most scenic drive ever. Can't believe it. Lake Pukaki. Next scenic lookout. This one's a little bit higher up. The last one was at road level. This is still Lake Pukaki, which starts out at the Tasman River near Mount Cook and heads down quite a while. And we get to the end of this, we're going to be hanging a left and heading up to Lake Tekapo, which is known for its blue water. But honestly, this is unbelievable too. I've never seen water this color blue before. Absolutely stunning. This is one of the most beautiful drives I've ever taken. I think I've seen 3 cars in an hour. It's like we have paradise all to ourselves. All right, pressing on. All right, so we just made the turn towards Lake Tekapo. And this is our last view of Lake Pukaki. This is a campground. Imagine camping here. Amazing. All right, next stop, Lake Tekapo. All right, welcome to Lake Tekapo. This is one of the main landmarks here, Church of the Good Shepherd. The gate's locked because we're still early. Doesn't open till 9. We're here at 8:30. Having just driven from Mount Cook Village. And so Lake Tekapo is known for its beautiful water. Let's see if that's true. Wow. I think it's easier to see later in the day or with different lighting, but hopefully it'll come out on the video. It's basically a mirror lake. I think we're going to Mirror Lake, the actual Mirror Lake tomorrow, but see how you can see the tree reflected in the water. And over there you could see the mountains reflected in the water. This nice walking trail. You can walk all the way around. And then there's a little walking bridge to go over to the little village. So welcome to Lake Tekapo. Let's get another view of the church from this side here. There we go. All right. I'm going to look for a place for breakfast and head back to Queenstown.